So happy Monday morning. So this morning we'll just do a little bit of a whole body flow, a mix of things. My usual way of not planning anything. So we'll start in our Shavasana, laying back, getting nice and relaxed. All the way out from the center of the body, all the way to the extremities. So relaxing firstly through the torso and the ribs, starting with this breath. And just start to notice the movement of air in and out of the body. Relaxing around the ribs, allowing the breath to flow at ease. As we feel this rest spread out through the shoulders, unwinding, heaviness through the arms all the way to the fingertips. As well as the back of the ribs, muscles around the spine, all the way down to the hips, the back of the hips, the sides of the hips, the hip flexors, the quads, the hamstrings, the calves, all the way down the backs of the legs, along the pads of the feet to the toes, all softening out. Releasing any expressions, any tension through the muscles of the face. As we add a little wriggle to the fingers and the toes. And then gently hugging the knees towards the chest, squeezing in tight. You can have a little roll around or a little rock side to side, whatever's good here. Monday morning, if we're about to get a week full of sitting down at a desk, it's nice to start with this space, just checking in how the hips are feeling, the lower back. And then returning towards middle. We're going to lengthen the left leg out nice and long, taking hold of this right foot into our half happy baby. So we might like to take a grip of the peace fingers around the big toe. We might like to take hold of the foot or anywhere along the leg. If we're tight through these hamstrings, we may even like to bend that knee and just take the hand towards the top of the shin to hold. But if it's available, seeing if we can face the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. That knee is out to the side of the torso and just feeling it lowering down towards the earth. We're getting that opening across the hips. Deep belly breaths. And then bending through the left knee, bringing that right foot across, taking that right hand through, interlacing the fingers around either the shin, the knee, or the hamstring. Gently drawing that left leg in towards the chest, so opening through the right glute. So starting with the hips this morning, a Monday morning, it's not a bad place to start. Especially with this wet weather, if we've been indoors a lot this week. Releasing our hold, lengthening that right leg out nice and long, taking hold of the left foot or somewhere along the left leg. Relax both the back of the shoulders towards the earth. Head is rested, melting down through that left knee, long through the right leg. And bending the right knee, left foot across, finding our bind. So as we draw that leg in, just mindful. So we're using the biceps to draw that in, but avoiding any shrugging of the shoulders, seeing if we can keep that space around the neck and the head. Steady breath. And releasing both knees in towards the chest, hugging tight, rocking and rolling our way to seated. Coming all the way up, sitting nice and tall. We'll keep with these hips. We're going to rest these hands to the knees, taking a deep breath in to sit tall. As we exhale, bringing that torso out and down to the right, around, using that in-breath to come nice and tall. And then changing directions with the breath. So out, down to the left, around, inhale, up through center. And just keep changing directions, moving with the breath. Sitting nice and tall on this inhale. On our next exhale, two options. We can stay cross-legged and we can fold forwards, walking those hands out in front. If we'd like to take a little hip opening, we can take the soles of the feet together, wrapping the hands, keeping the chest open as we fold forward. So try not to hunch into this one. It doesn't have to be a straight back, but just keeping a natural length, leading with the chest and the belly button towards the heels. And keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Try not to poke that chin forwards. Releasing the hands, sitting up nice and tall. From whichever option we're taking, we'll bring those knees in, soles of the feet to the floor, sliding that right foot towards the left hip, sweeping that left foot around the right thigh. So this is one option. So I'll just show with our twist, we're either going to wrap that arm around the leg or bringing that elbow across the thigh, sitting tall as we open that chest towards our side wall. If that's not comfortable, we can stay cross-legged. Take that left hand to rest on the knee. Again, sitting tall, that length. So we're always creating length, creating space, reducing that friction as we open into our twist. One more breath in. And exhale, release, facing middle, swapping sides, whichever option we've taken. So either hugging that arm across or bringing the elbow over, but making sure that we've still got space for a comfortable breath. We don't want to be forcing this twist. We always know when we're going too far into a posture because that breath shortens. Let it flow. Deep belly breath. Exhale back through center. Taking our seated position, sitting up nice and tall, opening through the neck as we take that left ear to shoulder, resting that hand to the right side of the head. We can relax the right arm, or we can extend it out, those fingertips, or maybe a palm towards the mat. Lengthening the right side. And checking in with the posture. If we're finding we're hunching a little, use that inhale to sit nice and tall. And changing to turning, the head, chin coming towards that left armpit, then tucking it further towards the chest. Opening through this upper trap. So if we're at keyboards, if we're at monitors, devices, a lot of today's work is be able to keep the balance of stretching or relaxing, releasing tension through the neck, through the upper traps. And releasing the hand, facing center, right arm across. Again, option relaxing or extending through the left arm. So breathe to belly, then rise up into the chest. Release from the chest, down and out from the belly. Relaxing the hand, turning that gaze to the side, chin to chest. If there's any lift through those shoulder blades, seeing if we can relax that down and out. And relaxing our hold, let's walk our hands forwards to tabletop with the spread of the fingers, grounding of the palms, knees underneath the hips, nice and long through the spine, taking a breath in, dropping the belly, lifting up through the tailbone as we open through the heart. And an exhale, tucking that tailbone under, chin to chest, pressing into that lift through the middle back. And inhale, open. Exhale, hugging under. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale. So taking that lift up through the back of the heart, pressing strong through the palms. Inhale, back to neutral. Tucking toes, downward facing dog, getting our lengthening, a little pedal out here through the legs. Alternating that bend through the knees. We're nice and strong, nice and long through the arms. And remember, we can keep as much bend through the knees if we like. If we're trying to straighten the legs, but we're hunching through that upper back, bend the knees, shoot those hips, those sit bones up towards the ceiling, get that length through the spine. Then if it feels good, we might like to introduce a little more lengthening through the hamstrings, but only if it's comfortable. Let's walk these feet towards the front of our mat, taking our fold. Again, bend those knees as much as we like to. Take the hands to opposite elbows. Relax the head, a gentle sway side to side. Back through center, releasing those fingertips towards the floor. We'll inhale a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Again, one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forwards, bending those knees. Inhale, rising all the way tall, reaching up through the arms, getting long through the body as we exhale, folding forwards, keeping that heart open. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, bending knees, press to rise, lengthen up, extending through the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And as we take our hands to mat this time, we're stepping those feet back nice and long through the body. It can either be on the toes or we can lower those knees for support. Keeping strong through the upper body, taking a breath in. Hug the core in, exhale, chaturanga, elbows stay tight as we lower down. Inhale, opening to either our cobra or our upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. On our inhale, we're going to take a high plank, starting to warm up through the body now as we exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, opening. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, high plank. So this can be on toes or knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, our back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing between the hands, bending the knees, stepping or hopping feet to front of mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise it up, reaching those arms up nice and tall. Exhale, folding. Half lift. And as we take our hands to mat this time, we're going to step our right foot back. We're going to inhale, taking those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. So coming into our twist. Option again, we can always have that knee to floor for support. And we've also got our option for the neck. It might be more comfortable to have a neutral position, gazing out towards the side. Or if it feels okay, we can gaze up towards that top thumb tip. Take a big breath. Exhale, top hand to mat. Stepping back to plank, take our breath in. Chaturanga, nice and strong, leading with the chest. Inhale, opening. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gaze to front of mat. Step or hop feet. Half lift. And fold. Rise it up. Diving on our exhale. Half lift. As we take those hands to floor, stepping that left foot back this time, inhale, right arm reaching tall. So we're long through the arm span, breathe to the belly. Deep breath in. Exhale, hand to floor, take our time, stepping that right foot back. Breath in, chaturanga exhale. Opening inhale, press strong. So if we're feeling a shrug of the shoulders, lift through the crown of that head, downward facing dog. A little pedal out or just relaxing into this here, remember, that bend through the knees if it feels good, helps us get that extra length through the spine. When we're ready on an inhale, left heel lifting nice and tall, stepping through for a warrior two. So placing that foot to the front of our mat, windmilling the arms up, soften into that lunge, so that knee tracking over that second toe, gazing over that front middle finger. Flipping our palm, we're going to inhale, reverse our warrior, lengthening that left side body. As we exhale, that left elbow tapping to the left thigh, and then inhale, reverse our warrior once more. Exhale, that elbow tap. So we're strong through the legs. We're using this movement to lengthen through the sides of the body, extend through those fingertips. Use the full range of the breath. And on our next exhale, taking both hands to the mat, stepping that left foot behind to plank, take our breath in. Chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Continuing with the breath, inhale, right heel rises. Stepping through warrior two. Take our time. So that back foot at 90 degrees. Grounding that outer edge of the foot. Soften that front knee. Ease into the lunge. Flip the palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, elbow tapping to thigh. Long through that left arm. Inhale, reverse. So that core switched on. Hug that belly button in. Exhale, tap. Beautiful. Keep that flow. Breathe to belly. Taking one more round here. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, framing those hands, strong through this upper body, stepping back. Take our breath. Chaturanga. Opening. Downward facing dog. From here, lowering those knees to mat, melting down child's pose. Big toes drawing in. We can have those arms out in front, or if we'd like to, we can walk them out to the right-hand side. So holding this lengthening through the left. Deep breaths. If we've taken those hands for a walk out to the right side, bring them out to the left, lengthening the right. Back to middle. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale to our high plank once more. Holding for an exhale. On our inhale, we're going to take those left fingertips up towards the ceiling for our side plank. Option, right knee to mat for support. But we're nice and long through the body. Try to avoid those hips pointing back. See if we can bring them nice straight line. Shoulders, hips and heels. We can also lower to the left elbow if we've got any wrist sensitivities. One more breath in. Exhale, that left hand to mat. Swapping sides, whichever option, whichever modification we've taken. But long through that top arm, lifting through the hips. So we're working through that side body, the obliques now. Deep breaths. And exhale. Lowering that hand to mat. Take another breath. Strong core. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open. Downward facing dog. Inhaling that left heel nice and tall. This time I'm going to step through to a low lunge. Placing that foot between the hands. Lowering that right knee to mat. And taking our hamstring fold. Toes drawing towards the chest. We can frame that leg with the hands. So finding that hinge from the hips. Again, trying not to excessively hunch into this one. So keeping that openness through the chest. Folding from the hips. We can draw gently back through that left hip. Feel that extra little bit of lengthening through the back of the left leg. And bending through the left knee, we're going to scoot that left foot outside the mat, placing both hands on the inside of that left foot. So lizard lunge, we can stay here to palms. We can lower down to the elbows. If it feels good, we can take hold of that right foot with the left hand. So all of our options, we're focusing through the hips. So just relaxing them towards the floor. We're not trying to force the hips down. We're relaxing, taking that opening through the hip flexor, allowing ourselves to deepen into the stretch naturally. And with both hands to the floor, tucking the back toes, stepping that left foot back to our plank, take our breath, chaturanga, exhale, inhale, up dog or cobra, exhale, downward facing dog, inhale, right leg lifting long, stepping through our low lunge, placing that foot between, releasing that left knee to floor, hips drawing back, toes towards the chest, as much bend as we'd like to keep in that right knee. If it feels good to straighten it out, we can. Especially if we get that neural, that tingling sensation behind the knee though, bend it. Keep that focus through the hamstring. Bending through the right knee, taking our lizard lunge, scooting that right foot to the outside or off the mat. We can take both hands for support. We can lower to the elbows, or bringing that right hand behind this time, taking hold. releasing hold of that back foot. Hands to mat, stepping back to our plank. Take our breath in. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to lower those knees to the mat this time, sweeping those feet around to the front. So soles of the feet to the floor. And just gently lowering ourselves back to the mat. Uncurling the spine, resting the head. Bringing the heels in, we'll keep the legs together, taking our gentle side to side movement. Back through center. Hugging that left knee in nice and tight towards the chest. We'll lengthen through the right leg. Taking a nice big twist, so bringing that left knee all the way across the body, keeping that left shoulder to the earth. Nice deep breaths in our twists. Turning to middle, swapping sides, hugging that right knee and lengthen the left leg. So get nice and long through the body. Again, with these twists, we want to have that space between the vertebrae, so bring it across. And coming back to center, lengthening both legs out nice and long, taking our Shavasana, corpse pose, this final rest, as we relax the head. Again, relaxing around the ribs, nice and easy through the breath, heavy through the arms and the legs. And just taking these last few minutes of complete rest. our focus back into the breath. Again, that flow of air in and out of the body. As we wriggle fingers and toes. Inhaling, reaching the arms up overhead. Nice long final stretch. As we roll to one side. Taking our time as we come up to seated, cross-legged or whatever's most comfortable. We'll bring those hands to heart center. Resting the eyelids down, taking a moment at the end of our practice to check in once more, to just notice how we're feeling having come to our mats, whether it's live in the morning or perhaps an afternoon practice, just noticing how we feel now compared to when we first came to our mats. I'm grateful for taking this time out of our day to practice this self-care. As we bow our heads to our hands, we honor ourselves and each other with Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Monday morning to those watching live. Whoop. And let's see, hopefully that worked. We'll find out later. Have a lovely day. If you're in southeast Queensland at the moment, stay dry and try to avoid the roads wherever you can. Hope everyone's well. See you guys.